Hey, this is Do-Rag Wisdom. I had some good news today. This is a copy of today's daily news. It's a tabloid. That's what this is, as opposed to a newspaper, which would look more like this. Folds like that down. But, look at that nice headline of this idiot with the shoe. They even put the shoe, the Get Smart. If you grew up in the '60s. Get Smart, Don Adams, that classic show. Mel Brooks was involved in that show, if I'm not mistaken. I actually had a letter in this today. Now, I've had many letters in the daily news over the years. I try to keep them short. I want to give the editor a break. But for a long time, they haven't printed anything from me because I would write them and tell them, you guys are really... what you say about the teachers, what you say about the teachers union, all kinds. And after a while, I guess they said, F him. We're not gonna print any letters of his. But in any event, in the recent years, I've had some printed, and now especially during these times when we have a Putin puppet in our house, in our White House, every letter that you get in a newspaper. Every letter that you get out to a senator or a representative in the House, anything you do now, you're doing something for the resistance and doing something to make sure that life in America will continue to advance as it was doing under President Obama, and will not retract, will not devolve back to the old days. I mean, these GOP scum want to return to the days of back alley abortions, lynchings, slavery, environmental destruction. So today, folks, I did my part. I'm always on here trying to tell you to do your part. It's so important. So on this letter page, see that has that moron Gorsuch? This newspaper, this tabloid had printed the longest editorial you could imagine against voting for the birther TrumPutin bastard. They had the longest, I'm telling you, the longest, it must have been 6 pages, all columns across, you know what I'm saying? And I read that whole thing. All the reasons that you shouldn't vote for this creep, which I was going to vote for in the first place. But you're sitting there on the John, because that's what, this paper, and you understand that that's, something that is so monumental. And then what do they do in the midst of the third month of the birther bastard invasion? They had an editorial that the Democrats shouldn't stand in the way, that they should allow Gorsuch to become the Supreme Court Justice. They said, Justice Gorsuch. I couldn't believe it. That's probably one of the reasons why I was sick yesterday or the day before, and my stomach and depression. So I said, okay, I will write a letter. And I don't know if it will be printed or not. But today's the day. So here's the top letter who supports their view, their hypocritical view. And then this is a nice long letter, which I don't do that because, this is a tabloid. People want to go blip right through the thing. And then there's a real short one. And then down here on the bottom to here, that's my letter. And I'm going to tell you, read it to you. It's short. Staten Island, deny Trump's pick. That was their headline. Not only did the GOP steal this seat from President Obama, their leader, President Trump, is under a cloud of investigations, including possible ties to Russia and Putin. This incompetent fool and hate monger should not be allowed to appoint anyone until the cloud above his comb-over is gone. I'm laughing because he reads, I'm sure he reads this is a newspaper, I'm sure he hates it, but I'm sure he looks at it. And look, I tweeted him at 3 in the morning, like I had like 10 tweets to this idiot when he was, and I was tweeting around, plus I harass him on his troll up his Facebook page whenever I have an opportunity or if I want to entertain myself. He even wrote me back. I got something from a tweet from his tweet that said, "Why don't you go kill yourself?" I love that one. Man, he's the bully on the playground. I mean, believe me, when I tell you this, that creep Trump is the bully on the playground you grow up with. The little piece of crap. He has all these acolytes around him or her, and then they make your life miserable just because they think they're entitled to. Well, folks, this Gorsuch thing is just one of the many scandals that we should be paying attention to, as Rachel Maddow says. And as I've said many times, I'm 66 years old. And hey, I don't have, how many more years do I have left before I'm gone? But you young kids, I'm talking about people in their 40s, 30s, 20s, the kids, you're going to have to live 40 years or more of your lives with another Supreme Court justice, a new one, who will either make your lives miserable or better. Now, death took the cursed Scalia, that right-wing turd. What a turd. And now, Obama had a chance to put somebody in, and he, of course, wanted to put somebody middle of the road in there, but not a fanatic, at least. And the GOP did not allow the president, who had a right to do so, to put in their choice, his choice. And now they come around and they're going to put theirs in? The birther scum is going to put somebody in there, a young version of Scalia? An originalist constitutionalist? That's someone who interprets the Constitution like a fundamentalist religionist. Oh, gee! Exactly, shouldn't be changed. This has got to be interpreted. So you'll allow all the employers and every persecutor and scum and rich oligarch to exploit anything they want to. And my friends, I don't want you to have to live with that. Your kids, I don't want you to have a miserable life once I'm gone. We human beings are on a merry-go-round of misery. And the bottom line is, anything that we allow this creep to put into our government is from Putin. And it's becoming known. Watch the news. Maddow, O'Donnell, Keith Olbermann. That this creep is part of a Putin plan. The birther bastard Trump is part of a Putin plan to undermine democracies all over our planet. I mean, we shouldn't be afraid of socialism and communism, quote unquote. We always had to be afraid of kleptocracy engendered by unbridled, unregulated capitalism with oligarchs and fascism and oppression of every human being on this planet. Every living thing on this planet oppressed by rich rulers. And this is what Putin wants for the whole world. And this is what Trump wants for us. And I don't want you young people to have to live in a miserable world like that. Write to your newspapers and keep up the resistance.